Hello, and thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you how I remove this brake hose and install a new brake hose on this 2006 Saturn Vue. First, before I even start, I just want to make sure the hose that was sent to me is the right configuration. And by that I mean, you see over here it says right, and this is to the right side of the vehicle. So this will go over here. It looks like it's the same length. Okay, if anything, it looks like it might be a little longer, but this older hose might have more bends into it. Now this is a 1/8 inch line, and this over here looks a little thicker, but we'll see. And with this brake hose, 2 washers come with it. You want to use the new washers when you install it. So now that I know I have the right line, to take this off, I have to remove this bolt, which I have some penetrating fluid on it. I usually use my own mix of 50% acetone and 50% transmission fluid, but today I'm giving this PB Blaster a shot. And I soak this with the PB Blaster, and up above, where we have to remove the brake hose from the brake line, I just got a cap full of brake fluid and poured it on there. I don't want to mix anything going into this brake line. It shouldn't be a problem because this brake line is going to be replaced, and whatever's going down will be coming this way, and I'll have it disconnected here. But just to be safe, that's the direction I went. My next step is to detach these clips that are holding the ABS wire onto the brake line. I'm going to try to get these off without snapping them. If they snap, I'll just zip tie them back on, but I would like to install it with its original hardware. So I'm going to give this about 20 minutes to soak while I'm removing these clips. Once I loosen this bolt and I remove these clips, I'll get into removing it from the brake caliper and the brake line. Alright, I'm back. To remove these clips, I tried with a small screwdriver and I didn't get anywhere. What you need is a large blade screwdriver to get in between there and just turn it, and they pop right open. So this was easy to get off. I'm leaving it connected. Now I have to remove this brake hose from this brake line and from the caliper. Now if you notice, this isn't the same caliper as in the previous video. The old caliper was definitely seized, and I thought I had a problem with this new caliper sticking as well. But I believe it is this brake line that's causing the problem. What's happening when you step on the brakes are staying compressed, squeezing the pad onto the rotor, and it's burning it right up. If you would like, in the video up above, I have the removal of the old caliper and the installation of this caliper here. Now, this nut up here requires a 13mm wrench, and when you're working on these brake lines, what you want to do is get yourself a set of these brake line wrenches. You see they have the gap so you can get around the line, but they encompass the nut a lot more than an open-end wrench. And this will save you a lot of grief, because once you strip these out, if you're in a tight spot, more than likely you're going to have to cut the line, flare the line, and put a new end on it. So I had this soaking with the brake fluid for a while. I'm going to remove this. This was pretty tight, and what I did first was to tighten it, pull it, tighten it, pull it, and that's what loosened it up. So now, alright, it looks like the rest is coming out without any issue. I'm going to put this camera down and try to get in focus with what I'm doing here. And keep in mind, there's a lot of rust on here. This is a 206 Saturn Vue in the Northeast. Plenty of salt on the road. Even when we don't get snow, I salt it down pretty heavy due to the ice, and it just rots everything away. I'm going to speed this video up. I'm going to pull this holding clip out now that this is loose, I'm going to use a regular open-end wrench. It's just easier to get on there. It's not on tight, but it's just tight enough where I can't get it with my fingers. Okay, there we go. Now these threads are very fine threads. Give it a close up here. You can see how fine those threads are. When you're putting a new line on, you want to be careful not to cross thread this. I thought this piece was just going to slide right down. Looks like I might have to pull this out to get this off. Okay. Okay. This required a 10mm socket. And I got this out. There we go. That's out there. Oh boy, the rust. Ooh. Okay. Probably would have been easier to remove it while it was up. Now that it's off, I'll just hold this with a vice grip and get a wrench on the side of it. Bebop baby. With the rust and all, I'm having a little trouble getting this off. So what I'm going to do is disconnect it down here at the caliper. Then I can work on removing that on the bench. Alright, this is what it looks like when it's in. Now, important feature, don't forget to put this clip back in. There's that little ring. And this takes a little persuasion to get in there. What's up, you have? So whatever tool you have, just give it a couple taps. And that's in there now. Okay. This clip keeps it from falling down, and there's that little C-clip here that keeps it from going up. An important feature, when you're putting this hose back in, see this over here? It has a straight edge, a round edge. Well, this bracket has a loop and it has a spot for this to fit in. You want this to go in, you want to make sure it's in there. So when it acts like a nut on this side, so when you're tightening this flaring nut down on this end, this hose doesn't spin on you. This is tight, the keeper's on. I have the ABS wire connected to it again the way it was before, and I have it connected to the caliper. Now all I have to do is bleed this, and when you're doing this, you shouldn't have to bleed the whole brake system. It should just have to be this one caliper. So that's a wrap. Quick and easy. If you found this video useful or have any questions, post them in the comments section down below. Give it a like, that does help. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hit that notification bell not to miss my new videos as I upload them. Until next time, stay well.